What is going on, everybody? We got faked out by the intro there. Another Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's the summer. I don't know how to do these intros because it's like, oh yeah, we have a six. No, we don't. We are drafting best buck.
Yeah, I mean it's not summer for much longer.
Yeah,
Labor Day weekend here. Weather's starting to turn here. It was about 32 degrees 2 days ago, which would be, I don't know, 85 Fahrenheit, something like that. Dropped down to 20 today, and it's going to be like that for the rest of the weekend. It looks like all that hot weather is finally gone. Yeah, we are here for another Best Puck draft. This is our third one. This is going to be our final Thursday, right?
I believe so. I think that, or is the game next week on a Friday? They're in Brazil, so I don't know.
I mean, I'm assuming they still have a Thursday night game. I'm not a huge NFL guy, so I don't know off the top of my head. I just assume.
You know what assuming does? Makes an ass out. Well, we don't need anything else to make an ass out of you and me. It is pretty easy to do that.
All we need is an off-season NHL show.
Yeah, this is a mess. Supposedly, before I get into what else we might be doing tonight, the Stochastic bot dropped our affiliate link into the chat. So what's going on is NFL, obviously right around the corner. If you do support us and you play NFL, this is a no-brainer. You click the link, go check out the different subscription levels. If you're thinking about going premium, you don't have to do it today, but just click on it, check out what you're looking to do. If you want to go premium, it's there for you. It supports us directly. We have the lineup generator. There's obviously the Sims. If you're an MME player, even if you are a single entry player, because the Sims does have a single entry analyzer, I believe. Like if you hand build a lineup and you put it into the Sims, it will spit out all of the ROI and stuff. Don't quote me on that, but I am like 98% sure. But again, thank you for the support. Obviously, we have NHL season coming up, and you guys were awesome with that. And supposedly, we are going to be graced with the chiseled one, the chiseled chin. Jake Hari himself is supposedly going to be joining us in a few moments, so we're going to wait to join the draft because Jake, who didn't even hop on at all last season, will be hopping onto the show and drafting with us. Does he know what he's doing? Not much more than me. He probably has an auto draft in 2 consecutive drafts, so Tyler, you lost just by showing up. Let's be honest. But no, I'm just kidding. Like, you've hopped in all of our drafts. I feel bad for you because you take all the brunt of my whatever it is now that Haas is like texting me instead of being in the chat. But yeah, it's 5 of 12 right now, but we are going to Cliffy and I are not in there yet because we are waiting for Jake. We'll give him a few minutes. He's got fatherly duties. He said 5 more minutes right now, but trust me, if anyone can talk for 5 more minutes, it's us. So
yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of NHL news. Last week we had the Line trade plus Broberg and Holloway going to St. Louis. The Winnipeg Jets and the Pittsburgh Penguins made a trade. Second, Josh smashed the shit out of his elbow right before we were going to click to go live. And apparently he can't stop. The Jets sent Rucker McGroarty, 14th overall pick a couple years ago, to Pittsburgh for Braden Yager, 14th overall pick as well, I believe, last year.
Jaeger bombs.
I don't know how steeped you are in prospects. Like, I'm not a massive prospect guy. Like, obviously, I have to try to keep track of them as I can, but I don't watch. Like, I'm just not able to watch a ton of games. But the vibe that I'm getting is that McGroarty's the more NHL ready player now. So I guess that makes sense from a Penguins perspective. They have 5 top 6 forwards. I would include Joe O'Connor. I don't think they're going to, though. And McGroarty would make 6, and then Yager can kind of percolate maybe for a year or two, junior, AHL, whatever, and then join the big club eventually. But You and I have talked about this quite a bit. The Winnipeg Jets and young players, name a less iconic duo. Cole Perfitti's still not signed, man. Like, this is getting weird.
Someone should offer sheet Cole Perfetti. Just get him out of Winnipeg. But no one will. Who knows? Maybe someone will. Someone should, but I don't know. This camaraderie between GMs is just a bunch of poppycock. Someone should just offer sheet him, force their hand. I don't know. Like, how many? I'm just trying to think. Like, between the Western Canadian teams, if you can, do you consider Winnipeg Western Canada? I'm not like super up on my.
It's more like prairies, I guess. It is like, if you asked, is Manitoba Western Canada, it'd be like yes, because it'd be Quebec and Ontario would be central, and then we'd be on the east side. But it's more prairies than west. Like it's closer. It'd be closer to, like, I don't know, Iowa than it would be to Colorado. Like, to just kind of put it into an American perspective, I guess.
The Midwest, but how many in recent memories? There's been a handful of Calgary Flames and Winnipeg Jets that just refused to sign. It's how the Rangers got Adam Fox. It's how the Rangers got Jimmy Vesey. There was there's a couple other, obviously McGrody. I don't know. Something in the water out there.
I mean, I think part of it is just, if you have the choice to go play in Nashville or Florida as opposed to Winnipeg or Calgary, just, based on the weather alone, like, I can understand that. But it's just building a winning team, right? Like, don't get me wrong, it'd be sick to see the Winnipeg Jets make a deep run. I think since they've returned from Atlanta, they've had one conference final trip, like maybe two. I know one for sure. No Stanley Cup Finals appearances, obviously no cups. Like, if you build a winning team, players will want to go there. Players will want to sign there. Like, just look at Edmonton. Edmonton picked up Jeff Skinner for fairly cheap. They got Evander Kane, although, there's some off-ice stuff there. They got him for fairly cheap. Like, if you build a winning team, players will want to go there. But Calgary hasn't done much in the last decade. Winnipeg, like I said, no Stanley Cup Finals appearances, despite some really good teams over the last 10 years. It's just the fact of the matter. It's like they just haven't built winning teams. It's not the situation the Montreal Canadiens are in, though. They're on their way.
They're going to be. I see some other Habs fans on the timeline that I will keep nameless for now, saying that they're going to make the playoffs. Let's pump the brakes.
No. I was thinking 80 points would be a good season. I was talking with Andy McNeil. He's a professional sports bettor up here in Canada. He works in the space professionally as well as betting. And he was thinking like low 80s would be around where he's thinking, like 81, 82 points. I think that would be a good season for them. If like I think I said last week, like if they can pull off, Montembeault gets hot, they can stay completely healthy. The top line, all the guys take another big step forward, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe they can push like 90 points and have some interesting games in March, but like that would be the upside. Like having any sort of expectation for play, like the players can expect that. You want them to be confident. You want them going into the season thinking that, this is the year they're going to push forward. If the fans are thinking like they're sneaking into the playoffs, it's like, well, you're probably in for a little bit of a heartbreak.
They're in the wrong division for that. I mean, like, I think at best they'll be the Sabres from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But, maybe like Lane Hudson, or that's how you pronounce it, right? Yeah, he's at least like, he'll probably be serviceable this year, but it's kind of going to be like Slavkovsky. Like he's going to get overpowered at some points. He's going to need to put on some muscle and get some experience before he can really be thrust into a top four role. And then Line A is great offensively. He is a black hole defensively, which is the problem that they've had for years. So that doesn't help it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they're probably not going to be good, but they're certainly going to be fun. It is going to be a fairly interesting season. from a Montreal perspective. I was thinking a lot of like the Eastern Conference, because we talked last week about teams that were in the playoffs last year, and then teams that were in the playoffs that could fall out of the playoffs. And I think Washington's certainly on that list. The New York Islanders certainly on that list. Tampa Bay, I think, even is on that list.
Yeah.
Like, I think Florida, Boston, Toronto, Carolina, and the Rangers will be back. But
then
there's
you have the Devils who've gotten so much better.
Right. That's the other thing, is like I'm kind of assuming the Devils are going to be in. So that makes 6. So you have 2 spots for Detroit, Buffalo, Ottawa, Montreal, Pittsburgh. Like the Flyers, like if the Flyers don't completely collapse in the final 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever last season, they're in the playoffs over Washington. So like it's a pretty razor thin margin. Like I think both the East and West have like 6 teams that are going to be in the playoffs unless they get decimated by injuries, and then everybody else is fighting for those last 2 spots. It's not easy.
Yeah, bring back the Atlanta Thrashers. Let's do it.
All right. Still, I mean, I feel Jake's on dad duty. He's got to do what he's got to do here. Speaking of the Flyers, I think they start to push for the playoffs. How do you think Mitch Koff is going to go under Tortorella? Because I don't get me wrong, Tortorella, he has the reputation that he has for a very good reason, but it's not as if he's a guy that just won't play good players, right? Like he had Artemi Panarin back in Columbus, and Panarin was playing 20 minutes a game because he was elite. So like, I don't think there'd be any kind of bias against Mitch Koff. How do you think he does under Tortorella as a rookie?
He seems excited to play for him, which makes me want to schedule him for a CAT scan.
Oh, there we go.
Wow. Our feed just got so much more better looking. Must be nice to be so fucking young. But
yeah, you're still young.
Yeah, you'll notice that's why I'm wearing a hat this season, as I'm losing too much hair.
Yeah, same.
For anybody that might not know him, this is Jake Harry, one of the big boys at Stochastic. Him and I did shows together for a couple years. Josh did them as well. Here he is getting set. How many best balls have you done this year, Jake?
Can you guys hear me? Am I good?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. I've never joined on an iPad before, or really, I've never joined as a guest in StreamYard. When I was doing the shows, I was hosting Cliffy and Josh. So I've never been on this side of it, but
I haven't joined as a guest the last few weeks because I kept forgetting to get a StreamYard code. So
I've only done, I think, 3. I've got like 2 completed, and then one I have like one of the $3 ones. I think I've got like a couple picks left, but I've only tried the slows so far, which is like 8 hours. So they're over the span of like 2 weeks.
DJ Mitchell special right there, man. That guy loves his slow drafts.
Yeah, they're fun. Like it's nice. Get notifications when your pick is up and stuff. Like I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm just like picking players that I like in projections, like daily fantasy projections, usually better than most other sites, and just like riding like that. But I have no idea. Like I'm trying to stack. I'm trying to get like, of course, Luna's gonna start barking now. I don't know if you can hear that, but
just wait. If she keeps going, we'll get a chorus going.
Yeah, we can get a little back and forth. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing for strategy, so I need you guys to tell me kind of the optimal way to be drafting for these, because I want to do more of them.
Yeah, Josh would say take Bo Horvat in the 7th round.
I auto picked Bo Horvat. I had Matt Barzal though, so he was.
Yeah, so it worked out as a stack.
No. The first time I put a player in the queue, I auto drafted him like 8 rounds too early.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part too. Is like, well, that's the nice part about the slows. Is I don't think I've auto drafted maybe once out of 3 drafts, which isn't a big deal. But usually early rounds, like you're not too disappointed, and then later I've just been getting guys that I want. Like I'm reaching for like Shea Theodore. I think he's probably undervalued. Like they have Hannafin over him. And I'm honestly not super familiar with the scoring. I've just been trying to do them to Just like remember who's on which teams, like who's moved, and like just get a feel for like which guys are actually still in the NHL, like which fringe players are still in the NHL, like which wingers moved. Like Arvidsson, I'm realizing is on Edmonton now. Like he's one of my favorites for DFS, and so I've been drafting him on Edmonton and stuff, which has been fun. Stacking him with Draisaitl, McDavid, stuff like that.
Yeah, Arvidsson and Skinner in Edmonton now. Should be fun as long as they're healthy.
Yeah, they lost Kane. I don't know how much news you guys have been talking about, but I think Kane's out, right?
Yeah, he's going to the injured reserve.
Yeah,
to start the year. And
so those are two pretty big pickups. I'm not like the biggest Evander Kane guy. I think he's fine for DFS if he's with McDavid or he's with Draisaitl, but I'd much rather play Skinner and Arvidsson with McDavid or with Draisaitl.
Arvidsson will be elite for the 45 games he plays.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like if you're Edmonton, you just hope that he plays the last half of the season.
Yeah, just be healthy for April. Yeah.
It doesn't matter for them. Like even the first round or two in the playoffs, like they should be fine, assuming they've got most of the same team.
Yep. All right, should we jump in?
Let's do it.
All right, let's. We're all jumping into the best puck. Anybody in the chat wants to jump in? Feel free.
Are we just doing best puck classic 30 seconds per pick?
It's nice. Can't detect my location.
Oh.
Yeah, the 30 seconds per pick.
Okay. Is there a room I have to enter, or do I just enter one?
Just click.
They'll put us all in the same one.
Hold on. Yeah. I just got, for some reason, I got entered into it. Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing.
There's two more to start for me.
Okay, I'll join.
I have one more to start. Wait. Lobby. Live. Results. Hello.
Yeah, mine says one person.
I got to pull up this chat. I can't see the chat on my screen here. Any familiar names?
Josh, are you in?
I think so. I don't know.
Does it say one more to join for you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're all in the same one then. The YouTube chat, Jake?
Yeah, I got it up now.
Okay.
On my phone.
I'm doing this from my phone now, so now I'm just like even more NPC than last time. Avery just dropped his Nintendo on the floor and woke up.
How many drafts have you guys done so far?
This is my third.
Okay, so you haven't done a ton outside of the streams?
No, I think this is going to be my fourth or fifth.
What are like some things you guys are noticing that is different from regular DFS? Because right now, like I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just treating it like it's a 1 day DFS slate, like on DraftKings.
I mean, for me, like people are jumping on wingers a lot because you do have, there are the big three centers at the top. I think it's probably closer to 5 if you include Draisaitl and Hughes. And then after that, it's just a really big drop off. So it's like, unless you get one of the big boys, just load up on wingers. DJ Mitchell in our chat, he posted some stuff on his site over on the Morning Skate Pod about how, was it 7 wingers on your draft board was the highest percentage to go through last year. And I think it was like no more than 2 centers, optimally 1, like through the first 8. So you're seeing, I think Fantasy Oracle wrote about it at his site too. You're seeing centers start to go earlier now because than like a month ago, because, once you do get past those, I'd say top 5 centers, it's a really big drop off. I think you can maybe add JT Miller, maybe Elias Pettersson into that mix. And then after that, like there's not a lot separating Sebastian Aho from Braden Point, from Alexander Barkov, so on and so forth. So that's what I've been noticing as well is people really, really stack up their wingers early on.
Yeah, because at first, like my first draft, let me read it out to you. Like I was like, wow, this is so easy. I've got all these 6 centers, and I thought you could just play guys at flex. So like that's on me for not figuring that out. But I got Jack Hughes, Elias Pettersson, JT Miller is a center on Underdog, Tage, and Zibanejad. But like you can only play a max of 2 of them, right? Per week. So like maybe getting 4 of those guys max, but 5 is kind of stupid. I'm realizing, and I understand why they were available so late.
Yeah, that's the thing is like each team, like we might get to pick 100, and there might not be like 15 centers off the board total. Like it'd be all wingers,
unless I'm drafting because I.
People do tend to jump on goalies fairly quick. Like I don't think you'll see one going in the first round, but you'll definitely see them going starting in the second, and then you'll probably see a half dozen by the end of the 4th round. So
we are full.
Oh, we are full. I'll bring up the draft board. Tommy Nation.
I'm in the 11th spot.
Yeah, I got 6. Josh has 11. We have Layla Cuff, who's in chat, Malik Sealy in there at 8th. We have Frostback, Tyler, picking 3rd.
As Craig vaunted Canucks fan.
So I'm going to get McDavid or McKinnon. I guess Matthews too. I could go there. Cliff, you mentioned Barkov. I know he's later rounds. Why is he ranked so late in this? That was one of the names that jumped off when he was available in like the 7th or 8th round.
Yeah, I think part of it is that he doesn't stay healthy. Like I think he's missed at least 10 games each of the last 3 years or something like that. Part of it is like he just doesn't put up massive numbers. Like he hasn't had a 90-point season since 2018, 2019. You know what I mean? Back-to-back seasons under 25 goals. Like he has to stay healthy. Honestly, I think Paul Maurice isn't a great coach for him either. Like Paul Maurice is a defense-first kind of coach.
Whoa, Austin Matthews first off the board.
Who was that?
I like kitties. You must be a fan of his mustache.
You must be a fan of me. He's just gift wrapping McDavid to me. Wow.
My wife must love. My wife could be I love kitties if we're being honest. She loves that.
What are you guys doing at the top? I don't know. Have you drafted up in like the top 2 or 3 spots? Like, what's the consensus? Is it what Underdog has right now for their ADP, or is that shifting at all between McDavid, McKinnon, and Matthews? I've seen a little bit of chatter, I think from DJ and some other guys on Twitter about like just pick your favorite guy. Or I mean, if I was doing a bunch of drafts, I would just diversify. Like if I had my pick between the 3 and just get like at least a quarter of each in those top 3 spots. But what's your guys' preference there?
The only draft I've done where I've had top 3 so far, I had a 2nd overall. McDavid went 1st. I took McKinnon 2nd. My reasoning was this. I told Josh this. The season that it's going to happen eventually. McKinnon's going to have a season where he shoots 14 or 15%, and he's going to score 60 goals and have 135 points. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. He's going to have a career year like that where he just piles on the goals because he gets a little bit lucky. And I like that. That's the guy that I want in a best ball format like this.
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense.
Oh, Homer, Panarin at 11.
It's the perfect spot to do a Rangers Homer stack.
Oh, we got Chris Negus on the turn too.
Yeah, I think I drafted here once and I went Kachuk and Nylander, and then I drafted here again and I went Kachuk and Yossi. I keep finding myself landing on Kachuk for some reason.
I thought you were going to say you keep finding yourself landing on Yossi for some reason, and that's not overly surprising.
Well, like I think I have Makar. I think I went Makar over Yossi in one of my drafts. Maybe I've done like 4 or 5 drafts. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I have at least one of each.
Josh with the Panarin Shesterkin start. You fucking homer.
I told you one of these nights I am just going to just absolutely blast the Rangers stack, and the 11th spot is the perfect spot.
So, man, I just have like this mental block of like, am I really going to pick Zach Hyman without without McDavid. Like, are you like I would have a hard time doing that. I know it's a different format, but like they're just so tied together that, and like I have Hyman starred. So if he comes back to me, that's probably who I'm picking, unless maybe Yossi's still there. But I don't know, like just mentally that seems like a hurdle that I need to get over. I don't know what
but he did have like one of the most insane like 2 years ago was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins who had the insane season. Then it was Hyman on the power play. This year it's probably going to be like, I don't know, Jeff Skinner, who's on power play 3 probably because everyone hates him. I don't know, but like Hyman is going to be the net front on probably the best power play in the league. So
yeah, you just know that McDavid, they're just like so heavily correlated. It seems like that.
Craig took Yossi. I was gonna get my first share. All right. I didn't take him in the last draft. I want to take him in this one. I haven't drafted him yet. Josh's boy.
I hope he leans into being a heel this year. It's going to be Mitch Marner. The heel would be unbelievable.
I was just talking about Mitch Marner at dinner with my father-in-law. He's a big hockey guy. And he always brings up the Wild. We talk about like trades and stuff. So if Marner got traded to Minnesota, this is not going to happen. But if he did and played with Eriksson Ek and Kirill on the top line, would that be the best line in the league?
No. Marner sucks.
It's got to be up there.
Oh,
I mean, like McKinnon, Rantanen, and Lehkonen would be, or Nichushkin would be one for me.
Or McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, if they did that.
Like
do that.
Hintz, Robertson, Johnston would be another one.
Yeah, I love that line.
I mean, it would be up there. It would probably be one of the top 5 or 6 lines in the league for sure. I'd like the best. I'd have to think about it a little bit more.
I just auto drafted Hellebuck.
You got Hellebuck.
I mean, there are worse auto drafts. Just ask Josh.
Yeah, I noticed too the stud goalies they're just flying. Like by like round 3 or 4, like you're already down to like the 12th goalie.
Oh, that bark woke up the bacon.
Bacon getting feisty.
His ears are popping up like the Tremors and Tremors 2.
Yeah, because Luna's over here barking at me.
She wants attention.
Tom Nation on the clock. You want to auto draft 2 picks in a row.
Yeah, but let's not do that. Let's go with. I'll lock up my center spot. Yep, Bedard.
I'm wondering about Bedard. Like this could be. I think he's gonna just beat the shit out of the league this year. Like this is gonna be the year where it's gonna be like, oh yeah, this guy really is an absolute superstar.
Whew. Ovechkin, huh?
It was funny. I was writing about for a different site, and hold on, got to make my pick here.
We all know who it's going to be.
Fuck it.
Oh wow.
I hope he signs.
He will.
No, what I was going to say is I was writing somewhere else, and I was writing about Jack Hughes actually, and the top 12 or 12 of the top 13 by fantasy points per game in this format over the last 3 years are the top 12 by ADP, and the one that isn't is Ovechkin. Like literally 1 to 12, it's everybody but Ovechkin. Hughes is 13th. Jack Hughes is 13th. I just thought. See, DJ took Caulfield. That's who I was going to take. If I didn't start winger, that's who I was going to take on my list.
I wanted to take Caulfield, but, I'm not allowed to have nice things. It's my fault, though, for starting Panarin and Igor.
Another guy that one of my favorites that I love playing for DFS that seems actually really too high is I think he just got taken. Timo Meier. Why he seems really high for kind of his role on New Jersey last year. Are you guys expecting a more featured role this year? Like, are we thinking he's going to play with Hughes? Why is he top?
He'll be power play one all season.
Yeah, I think he's going to get more minutes. I don't know if he's going to play with Hughes, but even playing like 18, 19 on the second line with Hischier plus with Hughes on the power play, like, thing is like he just shoots and hits so much, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you can put up over 3 hits in like 1.5 or 3 shots and 1.5 hits per game, like you'll just bring a ton of value. Like he could have a Brady Tkachuk like season if everything goes right.
Yeah, I mean, I love him for DFS, but that was one that I was surprised to see up so high.
I was actually looking at that the other day. Like since Meyer got to New Jersey, the numbers are just way better with Hischier than with Hughes.
That's the style of play he plays that Lindy Ruff didn't. You know what I mean? Like with the Sharks,
he's sponsored by Claus.
With the Sharks, they were a dump and cycle team. Devils were not a dump and cycle team with Lindy Ruff. So
no, they definitely were not.
Coffee on the board. And take Sergei Bubtitsky.
No, I was going to take JT Miller, actually. So now I'm kind of panicking a little bit. Let's go with my first share, Noah Dobson.
You know, if any one of their blue liners goes down, he'll have like those 2 weeks where he plays like 34 minutes a night.
I'm still hoping he plays 24 or 25 minutes. Like he was still around 23 after Waugh got there and they got healthy. I'm concerned about it, but I have him ranked high enough where I feel fine taking him. Jacob Markstrom. See, that's a good pick by Frostback, I think. That's a goalie I've been trying to target quite a bit when I don't get one super early.
Yeah, but Tyler and his goalies are you said name a worse combo than Winnipeg and their young players. It's Tyler and goalies.
Yeah, Frostback actually just sewered my entire best ball season.
I know we give him shit for it, and we told him this at the end of the season. Like, I don't think there was anyone who had legitimate any run worse. Like he went so unlucky with his goalie picks all season. It was insane. Like it wasn't
he single entering too?
Yeah.
Like that's the worst when you're single entering and you're in a bad streak for goalie. Like even if you pick your stacks right, you have a -6 at goalie. You're not winning anything.
I'd rather my stacks do nothing and my goalie go off than my stacks go off and my goalie go negative.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than having like a top 1% finish, but your goalie's sitting at like -3.2 or something like that. It's just like...
Especially in single entry, you just want to throw your head through a wall.
Yeah. Clayton Keller, man, Utah. See, I don't think this is necessarily the best format to stack Utah, but if this draft was twice the size or something like that, that would be a team I would be stacking the hell out of.
Yeah,
I think that's one. Like I think we said it last week. This is going to be the surprise team in the West.
Yeah, I was looking at their roster. I think they're going to be pretty good too.
Oh, Cliffy's boy, Owen Tippett going to.
Yeah, it was either going to be TK or Tippett. I also was looking at Quinn Hughes.
There's
it is so hard to pass on these centers though. Like you can get Eichel, Tage.
There's no way my next pick is going to survive Cliffy and DJ Mitchell here.
Who's your next pick? Barzal.
Oh, Frostback again?
Welcome to the club. He did it to me all last draft. I ended up so mad I drafted 38 centers.
I think like Eichel is the number 7 center in my rankings behind the big 5 plus JT Miller. Like I'm worried about how losing Marchessault is going to affect everything, but all right.
You got JT at 6, Cliffy?
Yeah.
Oh.
just so reliable. Like you can rely on him. 30 goals, 60 assists, 2 hits per game or whatever. Like he's just such a reliable producer.
Yeah, I keep forgetting hits are a thing in this format too.
Like JT Miller, last 3 years, 30 goals each season, 65 assists, over 65 assists in 2 out of the 3 seasons, over 200 hits in 2 out of the 3 seasons, over 200 shots in 2 out of the 3 seasons. Like he's just he's one of the more underrated beasts, I think, in the NHL.
Yeah, he was a trade deadline rumored guy for like 3 years straight, it seems like.
Well, Tampa got rid of him, Rangers got rid of him, and now he's like just a perennial like 100-point guy for Vancouver. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Tajay Thompson.
Yeah, I like that. There's such good value at center if you can wait. If you can stack up like 3 or 4 top wingers early, and then like if Eriksson Ek is even like your first or second center, I think you're probably fine. You got Barkov, Aho still, Larkin, Trocheck, Wyatt Jones.
So many.
DJ, you dickhead. I was gonna take Kyrou. Like this was I don't know where to go. Man, if Kyrou has a bounce back season, like all of his underlying numbers were just so good last year.
Brock Besser. Is he fine for the season? Is he good to go?
As far as I know, but like getting off season injury information is impossible. Like I was surprised we got the news we did about Thatcher Demko.
What was the news?
He's going to miss the season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing confirmed, but the beat reporters for the Canucks are saying he's going to miss training camp, going to miss preseason. Team's hoping he's going to be fine for the start of the regular season, but if you're not playing preseason, I can't imagine you're going to be in net for game 1 of the regular season.
Yeah, that's like.
I mean, Jake Gensel missed all of preseason last year. He played opening night, so who knows?
Who did?
Jake.
Yeah, that's true. Got to think it's a little different for a goalie, especially where Demko had that injury. He had it was an injury a couple of years ago, right? Kept him out till January or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do. Alex the Big Cat.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
As long as he's playing with Larkin, he'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking of maybe coming back with Larkin too if he gets to me. Uh-oh. I like Kitty. Eriksson Ek.
Imagine he just goes double centered. Fuck you over.
Not a bad idea.
Not me picking, so yeah. Right. Uyghur, man. Uyghur is going to play like 30 minutes a night.
I feel like it's so hard for me to pass on Barkov, Aho here, but I should go with Larkin and just be done with center entirely. Yeah, whatever. I'll take Larkin.
Jake's going to win 25 G's with a wing stack.
I noticed Jake still doesn't have a defenseman. He can't get Yossi, so he's just not drafting a defenseman at all.
It just seems like there's such good names. Like, I know you need like a balance of reliability, but like Brock Faber at 110. I know Josh hates him. Maybe he came around on him a little bit.
It wasn't. I didn't hate him. It was that he was 45% owned every night at like 4,200. But like for his role in DFS, it was fine. It was just like he doesn't shoot the puck.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's got to be probably more aggressive this year. I'm hoping. But yeah, you've got good defense like Matheson, Werenski, Carlson, Morgan Riley, Faber, McAvoy. There's a lot of reasonable options late.
Speaking of Werenski.
You getting him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have him super high on my board. Where is he?
Yeah, like like how can I don't know, like Sider over Werenski, and they're like 25 picks apart in ADP. It looks like
It's just Sider will put up like 250 blocks or 200 blocks or something.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. You just need Werenski to stay healthy. Oh, Josh took Alex Tuck. I think this is my first draft without Tuck.
One of us had to take him, but I had Tage and Darlene, so I gotta get the stacks going.
You got that 3-man. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Yeah, Buffalo. I mean, maybe a little like post hype on them, right after a disappointing year last year, like 2 years ago, when Tage was lighting it up in the first half, and then they've just kind of been whatever. Like Tage, I don't know how many goals he ended up with last year. Did he even get to like 30, 35? It seemed like he missed a bunch of time.
I think it was 29. Yeah. 29 goals.
Do you think Lindy Ruff's a good coach for him, though? Like, I don't know. I'm not a Lindy Ruff guy.
I think he's going to be a better coach for him than Don Granato was. And I like Granato as a coach. I just think he tried to make the team too defensive to try to make the playoffs, and it actually just hurt everything.
We're just double stacking my team right now.
Is every player you drafted play in the state of New York?
I have a 4-man Ranger stack and a 3-man Buffalo stack.
Dude, that's honestly. How long are the playoffs in this? 1 week?
Yeah.
No. Well,
each round is
1 week. Yeah, each round is 1 week. I think it goes 4 weeks total.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you hit on one of those stacks for 1 month straight, like.
And now I got to get some left coast stuff, and I'm going to start stacking Tyler's Ducks now. Maybe not, but like that'd be hilarious.
It's different than NFL Best Ball in that it's cumulative points, right?
Yeah.
For advancing. So it's not like you just have to be top 2 in your 12-man pod.
So no, this one it's top 2 out of your 12-man draft goes to the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. Does that lend itself more to stacking or less?
I think it's more. Like, I think DJ might be able to talk about it in YouTube, but it was like at least 2-man stacks. I think the optimal was like 3-man, because once you get to 4-man, it was like too many eggs in one basket. Like if you had like 4-man from Colorado or something like that, it worked out. But other than that, it was drawing pretty thin. But 3-man's worked out quite well, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, speaking of stacks, I got Patrick Kane staring me in the face, so we can go DeBrincat, Larkin, Kane.
Man, you are going down a dark tunnel here, my friend.
2015, I'm just crushing it. 2024, I don't know. We'll do it. We'll see what happens.
Man, their power play when they were in Europe to start the season last year was nuts, and then it just like kind of died off because the coach split the units like an idiot. But
are they playing those Europe games again this year? Like the first couple days?
I don't know what teams it is, but I think I forget where they are. There are teams going over to Europe though.
Sabres, Devils, and Stars going to Czechia and Finland. And Panthers. And the Panthers. 4 teams.
Oh, so they're going to each play 3 games? Are they all going to round robin against each other? Or?
Sabres and Devils on the 4th and 5th, and Dallas and Florida isn't until November. But yeah, Sabres and Devils on the 4th and 5th.
Okay.
Of October.
4th and 5th. Yeah, okay. So then the season starts that Tuesday, right? So the 8th. It's so weird how they do that. The Friday. So it's like Friday before the season starts during the day.
And I think up against MLB playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And so like, for us thinking about DFS contests, I'm pretty sure it was like 5K to first last year was the biggest tournament.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Hopefully they make it worth playing this year.
I mean, it might be in tough. I guess Friday, Saturday, there wouldn't be any NFL. So I guess that's a bonus.
Yeah. Although NFL, they're kicking off the season with the Friday game.
No, actually, the 5th, October the 5th is a Thursday. So we'll be NFL up against the NHL. I mean, not at the same time, but the same day.
And then we got, the Four Nations shit during the NBA All-Star break, so we don't even get the GVP boost.
Yeah, that's a huge miss by the NHL. What are they? Cliffy, do you like that? I mean, no. Okay.
No. Like the Four Nations, like that doesn't mean anything. Like part of the excitement of international hockey is like, the Latvian goalie gets hot and he knocks out Sweden in the quarterfinals or something like that. Like, I'm a Canada fan, so I'm expecting a gold medal and everything, right? Like that's just kind of the way it goes. But like other than that, the exciting parts are the upstart or the Switzerland, beating the USA 3-1 or Canada 3-1 or something like that. Like those are the exciting games. This is just to me, like at a certain level, everything is a money grab. This feels like just 100% money grab.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it's got to just be for money, right? Like who else? What else are they doing it for? In the middle of the season, they're just going to pause for 3 weeks or a month.
My feeling on it is like it was kind of like give and take with the players because the players really want to go back to the Olympics, but the NHL doesn't get money off that, right? It all goes to the International Olympic Committee. So I think the give and take is if you guys do this Four Nations, we'll go back to the Olympics, and that's the plan is they're going to the Olympics in 2026. I one for me, one for you. I guess that works in a sense, but it is just a money grab for the NHL.
Yeah, that's going to be a dark time. Not having any DFS to play right in the middle of the season where you're supposed to have the biggest tournaments of the year.
And it's not short. Like I think the tournament lasts like the pause in the end. Like I don't know how long the exact tournament lasts, but the pause in the NHL schedule is like 17 days or something like that.
Oh, brutal.
So
you have to cram in some family time.
It's February. It's not like you can be like, oh, well, I'll just, I'll go read in the park or something like that. It's like there's 3 feet of snow on the ground.
Just get super shredded for 17 days.
Yeah. Me and Cliff are just going to lock you. Like, I'm going to lock myself in my room and just catch up on all the shows that I missed because
Josh takes Buchnevich. Like, he can't help himself from even drafting former New York Rangers.
I'm nothing if not predictable.
Yeah, maybe a good time for a vacation in the middle of February then.
Yeah, that's
get somewhere warm.
Just go hit like an all-inclusive in like Cuba or Dominican or something like that.
Sounds
Dominican
good.
Republic. Yeah. Maybe we can take a stochastic trip on the company to Dominican Republic for team building.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys
keep
breaking it in with the affiliates, you'll be paying for the whole company.
Just forego like an end of season bonus or anything like that. Just send us to Dominican for a week.
My Spanish is beautiful. We're good.
See, Spanish is close enough to French where I can get by with some French, I think. At least I could the last time I was in Dominican. Maybe it was just me being drunk and bring that in hindsight.
So, all right, I've got McDavid and Skinner's available. I got to take Skinner, right? He's going to play something with him.
Oh, I mean,
I'm assuming he plays with them at 5-on-5 power play. Like, I'm not sure, but
because they got McDavid, Hyman, Draisaitl, and Bouchard.
Nugent Hopkins. Yeah. Nugent Hopkins would be the one he would take off, but it's like it's been the top power play by a wide margin over the last 3 years. Like, why would you do it unless it stops working?
The thing is, like, you watch the Edmonton power play, it goes. They really just pass it between McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard, and like Ryan Nugent Hopkins is just kind of there. If it happens to come to that side of the ice, he'll shoot.
Maybe, yeah.
Otherwise,
maybe backdoor. All right, I've got Faber or. Oh, did he just get picked?
No, Faber's
Faber or Montour.
I would probably take Montour.
I ran out of time. I think it took Faber for me.
I mean, I think it's fine. I'm worried about Spurgeon coming back healthy and how much that might cut it. Because, like, Faber played so much because Spurgeon was out and Brodeen was out for half the year, right? So,
yeah.
If those guys are healthy, I don't think Faber's playing 25 minutes a game. And that's part of his fantasy value is that he was just playing so much.
I just want to give Turbotron a shout out for taking Horvat for me so I don't auto draft him.
Save you from yourself. Yeah, so Montour got a huge deal. I liked Montour a lot in Florida. I played him a ton in DFS. I mean, I just liked him as a player. The more
he had a weird,
the more
season.
ice cats I want. Yeah, he did.
But he was hurt to start the season, so
yeah. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about him in Seattle? That's a huge contract. They've got to just run the wheels off of him, right?
Dave Hackstall's a muppet. Did he get fired?
Yeah, he's gone. Dan Bilesman's got the team now.
Oh, Jesus.
No, so like that was the whole problem, right? Is like the only guy, I'm pretty sure the only guy in Seattle Kraken history, the only forward to play 19 minutes a game is Alex Wennberg. Like that's kind of the problem, right? Even Beniers after the Wennberg trade was like 18 and a half minutes. Like they don't play the guys massive minutes. I'm assuming Montour does, but if it comes down to the power play too, right? Like last season, I don't think they had anybody skate 60% of the power play time or like 62%. Like it was basically a 60-40 split between the top and the bottom guys.
Well, Belisma with Pittsburgh pumped the top power play, so.
Well, yeah, but if you have Crosby, Malkin, and Letang, like, Seattle doesn't have Crosby, Malkin, and Letang in their primes.
It's true.
So, like, it all depends on the usage. Like, I think Montour is going to have a really good season regardless. Like, he's going to have a bounce-back season, but I don't know if he can be a 70-point guy unless Bilesma changes the roles and changes the usage from what Hackstall had.
Yeah, Josh just grabbed Montour. That seemed like.
I mean, at this point, like that seems.
I wanted to take Bobby Thomas to stack with Pavel Buchnevich, but homie DJ Mitchell took him. So
Nega's taking Celebrini's interesting. I think we mentioned him on the first stream, but I write about season-long fantasy hockey at Dauber, and Celebrini's like the 17th center on the board or something like that. Like he's high. I don't know if he's going to get that high, but it's basically what if Bedard would have played it a full season last year.
Really? So he's going higher than Bedard was going last year?
No. Just the expectation is like he's going to be kind of like a 30 goal, 40, 45 assist guy right away.
What do you think about that?
I think San Jose fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
But like so did Chicago, right? And like that's kind of the thing. Like I think Celebrini's good enough to do it. I think this is the kind of draft where you'd want to take those chances. Right? Especially if it's like your third center and it's like pick 130 or something like that. Like that's the chance you want to take.
Yeah, I mean if you're gonna
want to take.
And the problem a top 5 center that you can get this late. Like you can't say the same about Brock Nelson or Elias Lindholm or maybe Hintz if everything went perfect for him. But for most of these guys, like you're looking for maybe like a top 15, top 12 guy at best. Like
the problem with Bedard last year is in drafts, he was a 3rd round pick. Like there was just no fantasy value to be had at that level. But Celebrini at like 130th instead of 30th, I think is perfectly fine.
You gamble on that. You gamble on Mikhoff. You gamble on all these guys with like pedigrees.
Yeah.
Speaking of San Jose, seeing Toffoli, I got my pick coming up in a couple here. What do I have? 3-5-2-1 or 3-5-2-1. So I'm seeing the goalie win is weighted really heavily.
Like FanDuel,
yeah. Even heavier than FanDuel, right? Because save is 0.6, but a goalie win is 6 and a goal is 6. So you got to rack up those wins. maybe Freddie Anderson, although he's never going to see volume.
Well, that's like I was telling Josh before the show. I was just looking over the fantasy projections from Evolving Hockey, and in this format, they have Georgiev as the number 2 goalie because he's just expected to rack up so many wins in Colorado.
So you have Freddie, I have Kuchi Kochetkov.
You convinced me to take Freddie. I'll give him a shot. I'm gonna have to get a third goalie. For sure.
I mean, with Hellebuck, do you though? Like I have 3 goalies and I have Igor, and that feels like kind of a mistake.
I mean, the way I look at it is like at this point, if you take a goalie fairly early and he gets hurt, you're probably screwed anyway.
Screwed anyway, so you might as well just get one good backup and take a gamble on a wing or something.
Yeah. Is there any merit to like doing crazy builds where you're taking like 2 centers, 2 defensemen, 1 goalie, and then just racking up however many wings left? Like, is there any talk about that?
I think you could if you correlate them right with your centers. Like I wouldn't just take a bunch of one-off wingers, but if you're correlating with your center and defenseman, I suppose like that could probably work because once you get it, it's the same at every position. Once you get outside the very top, it's fairly flat and it's just subject to a ton of luck, right? It's whether a guy that is an 11% career shooter shoots 16% this year or whether he shoots 9%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Nichushkin.
Yeah. So Nichushkin, and then I saw Landeskog on this list too. Is he going to play?
He said he's hopeful for the start of the season. I think it's probably going to be like a month, but that's just me guessing.
It's been 2 full years that he hasn't played, right?
Right.
I mean, what can you expect? He's got to be like 35 now too, right? 30, 34, 35? He's got to be up there. Unless he's just been around forever. He seems older than he is, but
he is. He turns 30. Turns 32 in November.
Oh wow, he's younger than I thought.
He's only drafted 2011. Yeah. But even still, taking 2 years off, like it's still a long friggin' time. Josh and I were saying on the stream last week, like maybe he comes back like Anders Lee did from his knee injury, where he's not the guy he was before, but he still can grind on the boards, put up like, 50 to 60 points with 20, 25 goals, like that type of thing. But I'm wondering, even if he's back in November, like, does it take him until like January to get up to speed? Because taking that much time off, even at 32, it's going to be tough for him to just jump right back in.
Yeah. The other guy I was going to ask you about is recent news. Laine to your Canadiens. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm a fan from just a fan's perspective, but from a real life perspective, he's playing behind Caulfield. Like that's kind of the problem. Is like I don't think Laine is going to be a 19 to 20 minute winger. I think it's going to be closer to 17 to 18 minutes, and that affects everything. He'll be on the top power play, but I think he's going to be playing with Kirby Dach instead of Nick Suzuki, and that's going to hurt his ice time.
Yeah.
So, but like he's like when he's healthy, he still produces very well. It's just last 3 seasons, 56 games, 55 games, 18 games. Like his best season, he missed a third of the games. So got to stay healthy.
Right. Yeah, I kind of like Montreal. They're going to be a playoff team this year, don't you think?
Oh boy.
They're going to be in there.
I think they'll be like an 80 point team, 80 something, 80 to 85 points. I don't think they're going to be good at, like, maybe they will be. Maybe like, Gooley gets a lot better. Hudson is a stud right away or something.
Before the Laine trade, they were plus 750 to make the playoffs on DraftKings.
Yeah, and I think they're still like plus 450 or something like
750?
that. Yeah.
That's crazy. And that seems like so high, unless you're like San Jose or Chicago. Or Anaheim.
Like who are they better than in their division, right? They have Tampa, they have the Leafs, they have Boston. You know what I mean? Like, are they better than those teams?
Yeah, but I think the question is like, can they be better than like Washington, the Islanders, Pittsburgh to get one of those wild card spots?
Washington signed half the NHL. They're going to be the weirdest team in the league.
Who did Washington all get? They got Chikrin,
Pierre-Luc Dubois, Andrew Mangiapane.
Ooh, that's a nice pickup.
Um,
Dubois is a total miss. That guy's going to be out at the trade deadline.
They got Brandon Duhaime. They re-signed Jakub Vrana, or brought him back, I guess.
He's had some issues though, right? He's been. Was he one of the guys in the player assistance program a couple times?
But the reason he left the Blues now is because he sucks on defense, is what they said. So, which is perfect fit for the Capitals. So,
yeah,
they're just trying to stay relevant for Ovechkin, which is a bad reason to do it. But
they're doing the Lakers Kobe thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where you just try to be like in the mix.
But like they do have good young players, right? Like Andrew Cristall and Ryan Leonard are two prospects that I'm personally pretty high on. I don't know if they'll have an impact soon enough, though, is kind of the issue. Like it's one of those missed time things where 3 or 4 years from now, I think they'll have a huge impact. But by then, Dubois is going to be at the back half of his career. Ovechkin's probably going to be retired. John Carlson's probably going to be retired. Oshie's going to be gone. Andrew Mangiapane is going to be on like his 5th team in 4 years.
Why does that guy keep jumping around?
I don't know why Calgary wanted to get rid of him. I honestly don't. Like I get it in a sense, like he's a UFA after this year. Don't want to get something for him now and instead of getting less for him if he has another bad season. I just don't think he was a good fit for that. I think he's like a Jonathan Huberdeau where he just wasn't a good fit for that team.
Needs to be like more run and gun.
Yeah. He's
Washington's not going to be that.
No. Good
They've
God. That was literally the antithesis of what they were last year. I've never seen a less run and gun team in my life.
Oh my God, watching the first round playoffs between the Rangers and the Capitals reminded me of like preseason hockey.
Yeah,
like, the Capitals move so slow.
The Rangers weren't exactly like run and gun.
Well, the Rangers are a slow team, and that's why they ran into big trouble against the Panthers. The Panthers' forecheck is hellacious, and they're not fast enough to keep up.
So they're super skilled. Yeah, they didn't have the speed. Those playoffs, by the way, I know we talked over Discord. That was the most fun I've ever had watching hockey.
Like, once the first round was done, which is weird because usually the first round of the NHL playoffs is the best round, right? But I found after we got past like Carolina Islanders and all that stuff, once we got to the second and third rounds, it was like couldn't miss a second of it. It was that exciting. Yeah.
Even like that Edmonton Dallas series was great.
Dallas Vegas was
Dallas Vegas unreal.
Like I think like for me, I think that was maybe until the Cup final, just because it was such a big comeback. Like Dallas Vegas was my favorite series to watch, and it just sucks. I don't think a lot of people saw it because all the games started at 10:30 Eastern.
I know. Yeah, that's the one downside. Especially, this year I didn't get to stay up so late. Life comes at you fast with a young. He was like 6 months old at the time, so you can only watch so much.
You've been a dad for almost a year. You look younger. I've been a dad for almost 10. I look like I've done 2 tours in like Kamataka.
Just wait. If the second comes, I'll be going downhill pretty fast. I don't know how people manage with twins.
Yeah,
talking another one.
One of the editors at Dauber Hockey just had twins, I think, a week ago, and he's pretty busy.
I don't know how you do it. Like I mean, people figure it out, so you would figure it out, but it's just one is so difficult at times. But
I guess the thing with twins is like they soothe each other. I don't know. I don't want to find out. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh come on. Taking Stankov and Wright 2 picks before me. DJ is going up my shit list really fast.
Dallas is an interesting team again. They're basically just running it back, but without Joe Pavelski.
Pavelski sucks. So, like, listen, Pavelski, great career, could be a Hall of Famer, probably fringe. Probably not, right? I can't believe that core in San Jose didn't win a Stanley Cup, by the way.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is we talked about it so much over the shows last season when Pavelski was off that top line, how much better the numbers got for Hintz and Robertson.
And like if Maverick Bourque can do what Stankoven did last year, imagine replacing a full season of a bad Pavelski with like a full season of what Stankoven did. Like I think it would just completely turn the team around. I mean, turn the team around. They're one of the best teams in the league last year, and they would be again. But
yeah, he's kind of like Stankoven's really undersized, right? Like I was surprised at how little he looked.
5'9", I think.
Yeah, he's like Mangiapane sized, right? Maybe even a little bit smaller than him.
That's why he fell into the second round because of his size.
Well, how are these GMs so dumb? Like with these guys that score in every league, and they think they're just never like short guys, small guys can never figure it out. And you see these guys pop up and have these 30-goal seasons. It's crazy.
Look at Jonathan Marchessault.
Yeah.
I mean, last 2023 playoffs, he was the Conn Smythe winner, and he's what, 5'10"?
Yeah.
So, like, don't get me wrong. I think size matters, especially for defensemen. Like when you're talking about penalty kill and getting your sticks and lanes and stuff like that, like it absolutely does. But you're still seeing small guys. I mean, Montreal got Lane Hudson in the third round, I believe. And he was a guy I was hoping they would draft at the end of the first round with like the 28th overall pick or something.
Caulfield fell because he's a short king.
Yeah, and he's scoring a bunch of goals.
Yeah, and he's probably going to pop 40 goals this year. Like
Matt Zuccarello. Well, I mean, Zuc is like 3'7". That's why he went in the fourth or fifth or whatever it was. But like all these short guys, you have to kind of be like wiry. You know what I mean? They're all good facilitators or scorers. Like they do something really well.
Yeah.
I like Leilikov getting Dylan Cousins at 185. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be on the top power play unit in Buffalo.
Yeah. I almost took him, but I was like, that's over.
And he's going to play with Jack Quinn at the least. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't think Cousins is going to have, like, a Tage Thompson season, but I can definitely see 30 goals, 70 points.
Who do you think starts the season up on that top line with Thompson and Tuck?
Cousins kind of bounced back and forth between the top power play and the second.
Yeah, but Middlestat and Skinner are both gone now.
Yeah, true.
So,
yeah, nice contract in Colorado, right?
You think they moved Paterka up?
I think Paterka Cousins Quinn's going to be a line, and then you can see Zach Benson playing with Tage and Tuck. I mean, that's my guess. Like Lindy Ruff is a completely different coach than Don Granato, but I think it'll be Benson on the set. I mean,
Egmus Gurgle shits.
Hey, it might be Jordan Greenway, man.
Oh, true. Lindy Ruff loves his grit.
All right, rounding out here, Aaron Ekblad. I mean, Brent Burns. Like he's going to get power play time. He's still going to play 21 minutes. I mean, he's older than me. I'm pretty sure Brent Burns is older than me now, but
DJ Mitchell thinks it's going to be Zucker up on the top line.
Is he in Buffalo?
Yeah, he is. They bought out Jeff Skinner to sign Jason Zucker.
There's another short king right there, Zucker. I saw him in person at a Vikings game. You could not tell me that guy was in the NHL if I didn't know what Jason Zucker looked like. Like he was.
All right, just pulling up the draft board here. We got Tommy Nation second overall, McDavid, Hellebuck, Bedard, and then triple winger after that. So, four out of the next 5 picks after that were wingers, with both Kane and DeBrincat. Did you mean to get both Kane and DeBrincat?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it. You were probably preparing for your pick. So I got Larkin, and then the next pick around, I think DeBrincat was the best winger available. Or he was either first or second, so I grabbed DeBrincat, and then I was tongue-in-cheek saying I should just grab Kane to complete the stack for when they play together, and he actually was one of the better wingers that was available, and I needed to just slam as many as I could.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. Like any of Verhaeghe, Tippett, and DeBrincat could be a top 12 winger this year, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think not relatively easily, but they definitely could be. Skinner, Faber.
Yeah, my defensemen are pretty weak, right? I mean, I don't have like a even
But
like
I mean,
second tier.
if
like
you wait until the 9th round and you get Haskin and Faber, I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's fine. It's just like I'm not gonna probably get the ceiling performances.
I mean, they're both power play one. It's not like he got Jacob
so.
Trouba and Ben Sherratt. You know,
is Faber gonna play power play one if
he should?
Spurgeon's available?
I think he will, but I think there's a leash on him for sure.
Yeah.
Like I could, if things don't go well for a month, I could definitely see him be taken off.
Yeah.
That's kind of the issue that I have with him. That's why, like, I think somebody reached for Mikhail Sergachev. Yeah, somebody reached for Mikhail Sergachev in this draft. So he went a couple rounds before Faber, but like Sergachev is one of those guys.
Tyler. That was a Tyler pick.
Yeah, Shea Theodore, Mike Matheson. Like, I'm definitely drafting those guys ahead of Faber this year.
Yeah. I probably should have dropped down to Theodore or Matheson. I think I was between Faber and Matheson, and auto picked Faber because he was the top guy. But I'm fine with it. I'm not super thrilled, but it was nice to get a stud goalie. And then I followed up with Gibson at the I saw him and Lucas Dostal are right next to each other in ADP.
Oh, I didn't even see the last pick of the draft was Yaroslav Askarov.
Yeah, I was between him and Dostal for my last pick. I just think Dostal is going to get more starts, and Anaheim's going to be better than San Jose. But
oh man,
between those two, I just noticed Josh went Rangers, Buffalo, then LA, then Buffalo, Rangers to start. I missed you took Adam Fox too. That's a crazy start. But I kind of like it.
I completely forgot I took Adrian Kempe, to be honest with you. But he's my guy, man. I love Adrian Kempe.
But I mean, I think Jake was saying earlier, like having those two stacks, all you need is one of those stacks to have a great March.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're in the playoffs, you'll just, you know, crush. Who'd you get towards the back half? You're a Dustin Wolf guy, eh?
Here's the thing. I do like Wolf. It's just that like Calgary's like, oh, Vladar is going to start. The thing is, Vladar is the worst goal in the NHL, not named Jonas Johansson. There is no way that Dan Vladar is going to be taking half the starts this season. I know they're tanking, but still, you got to give Wolf. He's been in the AHL since 1907. Like, get the guy some NHL experience. Now that Markstrom's gone.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like they have to play Wolf. Like even if it's not like 55 games, even if it's like 45 to 50 starts, like even if they still give Vladar 30, Wolf still has to be the guy.
DJ says the playoffs are 2 weeks per playoff round.
Okay, yeah. I think I saw 23-24 is like the championship round. So weeks 23-24. So
Michael Bunting as the last pick, I think, is pretty interesting because Pittsburgh, you know, they brought in McGroarty. I don't think he's going to be on the top power play. They have Malkin, Rust, Crosby, and Raquel, but I don't think they're committed to Raquel on the top power play. Like, it probably could be Bunting.
Bunting went over there and just shot the puck. That's what they needed. So
how much do you think Gensel not being there? I know he was not there at the end of the season. How much do you think that affects like Crosby and Rust?
Sorry, I was just going to say it worries me just because the goal rates are a fair bit higher with Gensel than without, and there is like a reasonable sample without him, especially like expected goals rates and stuff. Like it is a concern for me. I don't think they can replace him.
Yeah,
and their power play is just atrocious.
Right, and as good as Crosby is, he's 37, 38 years old now. This isn't 27-year-old Crosby carrying, you know, Chris Kunitz or Pascal Dupuis or something. This is a guy that's, you know, not far from 40 years old. You can't ask him to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Gensel, Crosby, Rust. Man, I had some good times with those guys a couple years ago.
I was in the one fader. Didn't you make the live final in the $15 with a Pittsburgh stack?
Yeah, I think I actually, it might have been in the 333. It was a smaller field. I think I made it with like 2 full line goals in the third period because, and actually Crosby was out or something because it was Jeff Carter was in my lineup. I know that. He was on Pittsburgh, and he like slotted in with Crosby or with Gensel and Rust, and they like came back and won it, and I got like a point in OT or something, and like binked a.
Was that the one that you got 4 goals from Michael Granlund or something?
No, that was the first one. That was insane. That was like the coolest thing I've ever done in my life.
He hasn't scored 4 goals since. So I mean, like, you got to see.
I don't think he has. Yeah, that was pretty nuts. I think that was his only hat trick ever.
Yeah, I'll just go like my team real quick. I have a 3-man stack of Kachuk, Stutzla, Batherson from Ottawa, the 2-man of Werenski and Fantilli. I think Fantilli is going to be my second most drafted player now, with Alex Tuck or behind Alex Tuck. And then I'm not super happy with my team. I think Noah Dobson was kind of a mistake. I should have just gone another winger there, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of worried. I drafted a lot of Eastern Conference players, and I had Jeremy Swayman. So I have Brady Tkachuk, Mitch Marner, Noah Dobson, Tim Stutzla, Seth Jarvis, Zach Werenski, Drake Batherson, Line Fantilli. A lot of Eastern Conference players. Hope they don't run into Swayman when crunch time hits.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even something I would like. Josh has 2 Eastern Conference stacks, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if you can avoid it, I think that'd be better. But I don't know. Like,
yeah,
there's so many games in the season.
Yeah, I would have to look at the schedule like for playoffs, and I just haven't done that yet. That's probably something I should have done, but whatever. All right. I mean, I think that's about it for tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Do you know if the NFL starts Thursday next week or are they Friday? They're in Brazil, aren't they?
There's a Thursday game and a Friday game.
Oh, Thursday game and a Friday game. So we'll be back on Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, you guys are going to stream Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably smart with the first game of NFL on Thursday. But yeah. I saw Josh, you tweeted out the NFL packages. If anybody's looking to sign up, feel free to do it through Josh Cliffy's affiliate link if you want to support them. Yeah, we got new packages this year too, so a little bit different offerings. So make sure you go to the landing page.
I know how to use the Sims. I know how to upload a CSV from the Sims. If that isn't the biggest like compliment to something, like I know how to copy and paste the CSV and upload it. The Sims are the easiest thing. Trying to use a optimizer is like trying to teach a drunk monkey like Japanese. But the Sims very easy to use. Yeah, they just the smart people at the company did a really good job making the tool and making it very complex in the background, but for the user experience, it's very simple to use. So, I'll be firing it up for NFL a week from tonight. Hopefully, got a sweat going into the second half a week from today. I always say I'm not going to play NFL, and then I see the prizes in the lobby. I'm just like, God damn it! And then I'll just talk. Yeah. Got it. We have a single lineup simulator. Not to talk too much about NFL tools. I know didn't mention it. I wasn't 100% sure what it was. I did say something about a single lineup. Yeah. So yeah. So it's like the perfect tool for hand building. If people want to do that, you get like the same sim experience, but it's more for if you're a hand builder. You go through, you click your lineup in, you simulate it, and then you can see what your expected ROI is, and then you can make adjustments, resim, all that stuff. It's really great for single entry 3 max. If you're a limited lineups type of guy for NFL. Yeah, Josh will be there for sure. Yeah. No, for Showdown, I was 150 maxing last year using the Sims, and I had some pretty good success. But NFL, man, I'm just not great at it. I did bet some Jets futures because I'm a homer, but other than
Just donate that money to charity next time.
Healthy Rogers, this is the year. He's like, well, he's 41.
He's like 87 years old, so
Yeah, you might make it to the second drive this year. Yeah.
All right, guys. We will be back on Wednesday. Jake is welcome on anytime, but I know he's a busy man, so expect Cliffy and I, if Jake comes on, nice little surprise for you guys. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. See you guys.
Cheers, everyone.